decide what I want to be, a millionaire or an artist. Can't you just compromise? Become a millionaire artist or something?
He came to the big city in order to get his life together. His life had other plans. 1. Ignore everybody. The more original your idea is, the less good advice other people will be able to give you. When I first started with the cartoon on back of BizCard format, people thought I was nuts. Why wasn't I trying to do something that was easier for markets to digest, like cutie pie greeting cards or whatever? You don't know if your idea is any good the moment it's created. Neither does anyone else. The most you can hope for is a strong gut feeling that it is. And trusting your feelings is not as easy as the optimists say it is. There's a reason why feelings scare us, because what they tell us and what the rest of the world tells us are often two different things. And asking close friends never works quite as well as you hope either. It's not that they deliberately want to be unhelpful. It's just that they don't know your world 1/1,000,000th as well as you know your world. No matter how hard they try, no matter how hard you try to explain. Plus, a big idea will change you. Your friends may love you, but they may not want you to change. If you change, then their dynamic with you also changes. They might prefer things the way they are. That's how they love you. The way you are, not the way you may become. Ergo, they might not have any incentive to see you change. If so, they will be resistant to anything that catalyzes it. That's human nature. And you would do the same if the shoe were on the other foot. With business colleagues, it's even worse. They're used to dealing with you in a certain way. They're used to having a certain level of control over the relationship, and they want whatever makes them more prosperous. Sure, they might prefer it if you prosper as well, but that's not their top priority. If your idea is so good that it changes your dynamic enough to where you need them less, or, God forbid, the market needs them less, then they're going to resist your idea every chance they can. Again, that's human nature. Good ideas alter the power balance in relationships. That is why good ideas are always initially resisted. Good ideas come with a heavy burden, which is why so few people execute them. So few people can handle it. They were a glamorous-looking crowd. Then they opened their fucking mouths. 2. The idea doesn't have to be big. It just has to be yours. The sovereignty you have over your work will inspire far more people than the actual content ever will. We all spend a lot of time being impressed by folks we've never met. Somebody featured in the media who's got a big company, a big product, a big movie, a big bestseller, whatever. And we spend even more time trying unsuccessfully to keep up with them. Trying to start up our own companies, our own products, our own film projects, books, and whatnot. I'm as guilty as anyone. I tried lots of different things over the years, trying desperately to pry my career out of the jaws of mediocrity. Some to do with business, some to do with art, etc. One evening, after one false start too many, I just gave up. Sitting at a bar, feeling a bit burned out by work and by life in general, I just started drawing on the backs of business cards for no reason. I didn't really need a reason. I just did it because it was there, because it amused me in a kind of random, arbitrary way. Of course it was stupid. Of course it was not commercial. Of course it wasn't going to go anywhere. Of course it was a complete and utter waste of time. But in retrospect, it was this built-in futility that gave it its edge. Because it was the exact opposite of all the big plans my peers and I were used to making. It was so liberating not to have to think about all that for a change. It was so liberating to be doing something that didn't have to have some sort of commercial angle for a change. It was so liberating to be doing something that didn't have to impress anybody for a change. It was so liberating to be free of ambition for a change. It was so liberating to be doing something that